Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple family members, friends, and colleagues. I definitely appreciate that support. The Fantastic Four First Steps opens to $218 million worldwide as Superman soars to beyond $500 million worldwide. Marvel's first family returned to theaters this weekend, and after a slightly sluggish Saturday, it looks like the Fantastic Four First Steps will end the weekend with $118 million domestic. That's lower than the expected, but still well ahead of those $100 million estimates they had put out there before. So $118 million domestic and $100 million overseas. And so currently it's sitting at $218 million worldwide. In these days of superhero fatigue, this is a great result for Marvel Studios, and outside of Deadpool and Wolverine, which made $1 billion, one of the MCU's biggest openings in some time. Overseas, the movie is eyeing a $100 million start for a worldwide debut of $218 million. That's only $2 million behind Superman's global bow of $220 million, though the figures could rise slightly when they're confirmed tomorrow, and they will because they have not calculated the box office haul for Sunday evening. While the Fantastic Four First Steps has slowed the Man of Steel's momentum, Superman also put a dent in the MCU reboot's domestic debut. The DC Studios reboot passed $500 million this weekend, the magic number Warner Brothers executives reportedly wanted to consider Superman a success. This weekend, it made $24.9 million domestically and $19.8 million internationally. Now, with a North American total of $289.5 million and $213.2 million overseas, it sits at a total of $502.7 million overall, which is not a bad number for a hard reboot, and you're building a universe with that, of course, with Superman and the new DCU, which we talked about yesterday in our discussion. Go watch that if you haven't. With Warner Brothers saying they're happy with the $500 million, don't know if I agree with that. Obviously, there's more risk coming down the line. People don't actually think about that. You're building out a universe. You're going to be taking risks with characters that could be seen as obscure or not that favorable in the public eye. So when you have a film that cost over $225 million, you put $100 million in marketing more than likely, because Superman was marketed well, I'd say. That's about $325 million. You make $502 million. It's not done with its run. I think this movie can get to $600 or $650 million. That would be much better for Warner Brothers to be happy with going into a film like Supergirl, which I don't think, honestly, is going to perform that well because of the sentiment regarding female-led superhero films. I think Jason Momoa's Lobo could help, but based off the sentiment regarding what's going on with this universe at this point in time, I find that movie to be extremely risky to go with on your second attempt. And I'll more than likely go watch Supergirl out of curiosity. Actually saw Superman twice, so definitely happy to see the numbers. But yeah, just something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Helping neither movie is the success of Jurassic World Rebirth. After making $13 million during its fourth weekend, it passed $300 million at the domestic box office and looks to remain a contender for one of the year's biggest movies. I think that's at about $750 million right now. So underperforming Dominion at this point in time. And like I said, people claim to hate that film, and it made $1 billion. I think Jurassic World Rebirth could probably get to $850. Not bad on a $180 million budget, to be quite honest. But I think overall the trajectory is going downwards. Maybe, just maybe, people did somewhat like this film, right? For the most part, I heard mixed reviews, but the film made money. Obviously, it's the dinosaur gimmick, right? And then you had some star power there in the cast. If they can build off of this, potentially, maybe the second Jurassic World film that they do in this new reboot could make $900 to $1 billion, to be honest. But I think that just remains to be seen. Obviously, there's a lot of factors in that, but not a bad start, I do have to say. $600 million for Superman by the end of its run seems likely, but it's too soon to say how high the Fantastic Four First Steps will go in the coming weeks. Yeah, and it just came out, so we'll have to see what that second weekend looks like, to be quite honest, ladies and gents. Very exciting times, though. I'm excited to see what happens in both universes here. Like we talked about, Superman, a risky, hard reboot for DC Studios, and for Marvel, a soft reboot with the Fantastic Four, taking it back retro, and then we're going to be going into the future with everything that we know as far as Doomsday and Secret Wars. And so with that being said, ladies and gents, let me know what you think about this news down in the comments. Did you watch Superman? Did you watch Superman 2 times in theaters or just once? Did you watch Fantastic Four First Steps this weekend? Do you plan on watching it again if you saw it this time? I want to know your thoughts on both films. Also, Jurassic World Rebirth. Did you watch that film? What did you think about it? I've heard mixed things about that film as well, but I've heard some people give it an 8. So very interesting overall, but I want to hear everybody's thoughts on that. Like this video, share this video, subscribe subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and be safe. It's Neff signing off.